quality.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
This is Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. I am Nkamiang John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, and you're welcome to Thursday's edition of Standpoint. Today on the show, we will be talking politics. Yes, politics. Now, the 2023 gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections of Saturday, March 18, 2023, will remain in the minds of Abians for a long time to come, as it ended the 24 years reign of the People's Democratic Party in the state. The March 18 gubernatorial election in Abia highlighted democracy possibly at its best, as many believe the result reflected the wish of most of the electorate. This resulted in jubilation across the state, particularly or especially in Aba, the state's commercial hub, and Umahia, the capital. Now, despite this result, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, secured more seats than any other party in the Abia State House of Assembly, according to the results announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission on the 19th of March, 2023. Now, PDP won 11 out of the 24 seats in the March 18 election list of governors of Abia State. Now, the PDP, before this, had been the dominant political party in Abia State at the return of democracy in 1999. Orji Uzor Kalu was elected governor of the state, and with its dominance, the state gained the Soriquoit status of a PDP state. In 2006, Kalu briefly left the PDP and formed the Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, which produced Theodore Orji in his successor in 2007. Now, that relationship went sour, and Theodore Orji dumped the PPA and rejoined the PDP, which gave him the platform to seek re-election in 2011. In 2015, Okeze Ikpeazu was announced the governor on the PDP platform, even though some observers have continued to argue that the election was won by Alex Oti, who contested on the platform of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. But the problem of Abia was not in the party, but in the individuals that presided over the state. Since 1999, the state, touted as God's own state, has been among the poorly run states in the country. It has lacked basic infrastructural development. Civil servants are owed salaries for months. Poor or lack of motivation for workers, and pensioners are not paid their gratuities. Over the years, government schools and health facilities have remained the script, and health workers have continued to be at daggers drawn with state government over unpaid wages amounting to several months. The state always readily comes to mind whenever people allude to a non-performing state in the country. Some writers have even suggested that the entire state should be auctioned for a penny. Indigents of the state have continued to harp on the misgovernance and the ills in the state. decrying that nothing was going on in terms of democratic dividends in the state. So, today on Standpoint, we examine if the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Abia State can play a good opposition role under the administration of Governor Alex Otti of the Labour Party. And to have this conversation with me this morning is a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party here in Abia State, Eric Ugwagu. Eric, it's good to have you join us this morning, and happy Salah.
Thank you so very much.
So, let's not waste time. Do you think that your party, the PDP, which has played a significant role in ruling Abia State for the past 22, close to 24 years, can play a dominant role in this administration?
Well, thank you so very much, and John. I think let me start with disagreeing with some of your opening statements.
Okay.
It will be erroneous to say that, to conclude that the election which brought Governor Alex Otti
Yes.
is free, fair, and credible. I think it's a process, from the point of primaries to that terminates at the Supreme Court. So we are still at the last lap to know if the election is credible or not. For now, because the INEC has the right, they are empowered by law to
Yes.
conduct the election, and the correctness, the probability of correctness is on their side. So it is assumed that whatever thing they do is right, not until it is subjected under the crucible of the judiciary, which is where we are now. So the tribunal is looking at the cases. They are turning up. I know it will move from the appeal to the first tribunal, to the appeal, to the Supreme. So we are waiting now to see if we could finally say it is a credible election or not. So, having said that, I will still disagree that Abia State is the poorest state in the Federation, because when you look at the numbers, there's one thing about propaganda. You will agree with me that the present governor of the state has been the fiercest critic of the last government, which painted, like I would like to say, which demarketed the state. Little did he know that he's going to assume leadership of the state. He has so much criticized, and now it's giving him some trouble to head start. Now, what I'm saying is this. When you look at the numbers, because any investor that is coming into a state is not going to look at the propaganda machinery. He's going to look at the numbers. And we look at the starting from the GDP, going to the GDP to debt ratio, going to standard of living, drop out of school, enrollment and dropout. No matter even how, generally in Nigeria, the medical situation is a sorry state. So you cannot isolate Abia State and say that in terms of health, that Abia is the worst. No, we have a medical issue in Nigeria. That is why you have this Japa. Everybody is trying to go abroad for medical.
Beyond the Japa, you had a medical sector that was practically grounded for several months.
Nationwide.
For several months.
Nationwide. Now, it has to do with, see, there are issues with what they call and on-call civil servants. I believe, for me, it is an individual thing. Like I belong to the school of thought that says it is the individuality, that plays a role in governance and not the party. So I want to, see these things as individuals who took up leadership at a particular period and not like PDP, because it would be erroneous to conclude that PDP did this and PDP didn't do that. In Nigeria, we don't run politics of ideology. People just look for a vehicle, to take them to where they are going to. Whatever office you're looking for, you find a vehicle and you join the vehicle. So there's no politics of ideology. You'll agree with me that Peter Obi, for whatever thing that people celebrate today, was a member of ABGA when he performed the feat that is moving him today. But he left the PDP, the ABGA, and joined PDP. From PDP, he joined the Labour Party. So I'm now asking, what ideology drove him from ABGA to PDP, from PDP to Labour. So it is not about ideology, it's about seeking the party, because we run, they don't run independent candidates in Nigeria because of our constitution. So he looked for the available vehicle to take him to where he is. So it's not about the party, it's about the individual. So foundationally,
yes,
from the start of this democracy, there are lots of things that were wrong. You see, the first governor of the state introduced this nepotism in the system where it is winner takes all. Once you get the governorship seat, you recruit all manners of people who come from your side of the state. You don't care about qualification. You don't give a damn about other regions. So it became a struggle. It became this agitation. There's this agitation for your man, your king's man, to get to the governorship, irrespective of qualification. So that became the background.
Okay, we'll take a quick breather. When we come back, I want to find out from you. I have reeled out a bit of Abia State history under the PDP, but I want to find out from you how, if you think that the People's Democratic Party has played a significant role for the 22, 24 years that it has ruled Abia State. It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM. We'll take a few messages, and when we return, the conversation continues.
Celebrating your family and friends has become cheap like a cup of tea, easy as ABC, and rapid like it should be. You can send birthday greetings and goodwill messages on Rapid FM for just 1,000 naira. Other events like weddings, child dedication, housewarmings, religious and government functions go for even less, 500 naira. Now, your loved ones have no excuse not to celebrate you rapidly on your day, because all they have to do is visit our website at www.rapidfm965.com/request or call 07049 220965.
Make you paint your house with Sackloss. The beauty go last year because Sackloss.
My guy, which kind of paint have you used? We go make my house go well.
Now Sackloss paint.
Paint we go make my house shine.
Sackloss paint.
What about paint we go last for plenty years?
Now still Sackloss paint. Sackloss paint. Now we gon' get paint when done with both national and international award on top paint matters.
I beg, where them day?
Them day nationwide. Sackloss paint get one open get what they call Sackloss satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you will use water and soap take clean a charger. Sackloss paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, screening paint, auto varnish, and other Barbares products. For that correct beauty, paint where you need na Sackloss paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call
0701 855-2224.
Do you think you're a fan of Rapid FM?
Yeah!
I love Rapid FM.
I love Rapid FM.
This is the place to be.
Simply Rapid.
Knock it out on the Fan Zone with Mr. McDoney,
where you must answer more questions about what happened yesterday on Rapid FM to win the #1 title, Rapid biggest fan of the day.
Plus, you get to win other special prizes too. Amazing, right?
I love the sound of that.
Join the fan base representing your favorite shows every Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the Fan Zone.
Fan Zone. Exclusive to Rapid 96.5 FM.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say that leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's island. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. I am Nkamiang John, the beloved, also known as the controversial, and I've been discussing with the chieftain of the People's Democratic Party here in Abia State, Eric Ukwagu. Now, as we analyze if the PDP in Abia State can play a good opposition role under the administration of Labour Party's Governor Alex Otti. Now, as part of the conversation, let's take a walk down memory lane as we take a look at the list of the administrators and governors that have governed Abia State, Nigeria, which was created in the year 1991 when it was split from Imo State. Now, first on the list is Frank Ajobena. He was a military administrator from August 28 of 1991 to January 1992. Then you have Ogbonnaya Onu, the first executive governor of Abia State from January 1992 to November of 1993, and he won the governorship under the NRC of the day or at that time. And then you have Chinyere Ikewonsu, a military administrator who was in charge of the state from December 9th of 1993 to September 14th of 1994. Then you also had another military administrator in the person of Timi Ejo from September 14th of 1994 to August 22nd of 1996. Then was another military administrator, Moses Fasoya, from August 22nd of 1996 to August 1998. And then another military administrator, Antonio Obi, from August 1998 to May 29th of 1999. And then, of course, then came the second executive governor or democratically elected governor, Orji Uzor Kalu, May 29, 1999 to May 29, 2007. Of course, he came in on the platform of the PDP, elected on the platform of the PDP, switched to the Progressive People's Alliance, PPA. And then you have Theodore A. Orji, the executive governor, from May 29, 2007 to May 29, 2015. And then you have Okeze Ikpeazu, who came in on the platform of the PDP as executive governor from May 29, 2015 to May 29, 2023. And then ushered in the incumbent on the platform of the Labour Party, the only Labour state in the entire federation, and of course under the able leadership of Dr. Alex Chioma Otti. Before we took that break, I did ask my guest, does he think that the PDP played a significant role as the ruling party in the last 22 to 24 years of Abia State?
So, as I was saying, I was trying to lay the background very well so that we understand the idiosyncrasies of individuals who have held the governorship of the state, all these three governors. Now, I don't want to look at them from the political parties. You
want to look at them as individuals?
Because when you read the history of American politics, you hardly hear presidents being, when you talk about performance, they are judged on individual basis.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the history, they tell you the best president of America, they don't mention if he's a Democrat or Republican. They tell you Jefferson, they will call names, Obama. So that is on that premise that I want to look at these individuals and watch them or place them based on performance and as individuals, not as party. Because it would be wrong to say today, Orji Zokalo is no longer a member of PDP. So whatever he is or whatever he represents goes with him, not about the party. Like that was why I laid that, I gave the analogy using Peter Obi,
yes,
who we all know today is celebrated for what he did as an ABGA person. Today he's a Labour Party chieftain who ran as their presidential candidate. So it will be difficult to talk about the party without situating individuals and what they contributed. Like as I was saying, Orji Zokalo brought this so much nepotism that laid the foundation of what is the problem of Abia today. Now the civil service is overbloated. A whooping 2.8 billion as monthly wage bill is unsustainable. And you see, I was at Abia Poly the other time, and you see the number of where you have in the in an academic institution more non-academic staff than teaching staff. It is unimaginable.
But your ex-former governor of your party is also being accused of having engaged ghost workers in the civil service and overbloating the size of the civil service.
You wouldn't call that ghost workers when a governor within his tenure employed and engaged people, gave executive waiver. You can't call that illegal. So ghost workers.
But there are claims that the due process wasn't followed.
I don't know about that, but I know when you get a waiver from a governor, a sitting governor, there was this urgency, there was this hostile takeover, I want to say. Immediately, the incumbent governor was announced a winner of the election. He assumed the governor of the state, trying to rob struggle space with the incumbent at that point. And I was surprised at the time he said it was treason because the governor made one announcement within his tenure, and the spokesman of Dr. Alex Otti said it was treasonable for him to make such comment. Now, you understand that they do not know what governance is, public governance is. It is not about running a bank. This is a different ball game, and that is why you see him wobble and stuttle in these few weeks of his tenure as a governor. So, what I'm saying is, when you, and let me tell you what.
Are you suggesting that the Dr. Alex Otti administration hasn't made an impact in the last 2 to 3 weeks of taking over?
He hasn't even
cleaning up Abia.
He hasn't scratched the surface.
Paying June salary.
He hasn't scratched the surface. Let me read this. During his inaugural speech, he made this statement. I quote: "Having laid the foregoing foundation, it gives me pleasure to announce that within the next few days, we shall commence the payment of May 2023 salaries and pensions to all civil servants and retirees in the state. There shall be no more distinction between the so-called core and non-core civil servants." Has he lived up to that? He was talking about June salary. And the so-called on-core civil servants were not still paid. What did he do different? Nothing. Abia Poly wasn't paid. APSU wasn't paid. The parastatals, nobody got a dime. Even the so-called core civil servants.
But he has explained that there are certain processes that are ongoing.
No, for him to have even come up, that was on his inaugural speech. By that time, he has had files. He knows the situation, the financial situation of the state. And he gave this at his inaugural address, that he will pay mere salaries. So I don't want to entertain excuses. See, government has been a government of excuses. Okay, I wanted to lay a background before getting into this. Then he said he's going to call emergency on refuse. Has he done that? While coming to your station, I see loads and loads and loads of refuse. And it's funny for them to make excuses and say he's removing the refuse that was left by Okezi Bazu. It's funny. When you say you're going to, you declared an emergency on something, we needed to see something radical, a very shift, a paradigm from what it used to be. Now you still see men using shovel to pack refuse on backs of lorries and tipper. to come back the next minute, it is still failed. I was thinking he would have had something holistic, an approach that is a departure from what it used to be. Okay, you came on so much goodwill. You wrote on the promises that you're going to wipe the tears of Abian. You wrote on the promises that you're going to change the bad governance of PDP, so to say, and IPAZO in particular. And what have you done differently? You just broke the news that you paid June's salary, which you didn't even include the parastatals. That would have made a huge difference. I will come here to commend him if he had paid those things, because he said there was no going to, won't be any decision between the core and on-call civil servant. But he continued the way it was. So what's the difference? That's the challenge, and that's my worry. And it's not been about excuses. If you look at the playbook of the immediate past president, Buhari had loudest ovation. The streets of the country was filled. People celebrated the exit of Goodluck Jonathan. And today, we can look back and say, we made a mistake. We would have allowed Jonathan to continue.
So are you suggesting
I am saying
that Abians have made a mistake?
No, I am worried. It is too early to conclude that they've made a mistake. But I'm too worried because his initial steps, he started on very wrong footing. He's wobbling. He has not shown grip. Now, if I take a little bit off Abia and situate what is happening in the country, if they ask you as a keen observer to the tangent the president of the country is taking Nigeria to, you will say he wants to be strong on security and economy. That is just what will you say about Abia? If they ask you what is the direction of this government, you would not see any manifesto.
But there are schools of thought who say that it's too early to begin to judge the performance of Dr. Alex Otti and his cabinet so far.
It is not. I've always said it. Right from day one, you step into the office. Now, let me tell you the funny thing about our electoral calendar. Do you know what the governor has if he's going to stay? It's just 2 years and some fraction before the next election cycle kicks in. And then it will become politics. Now, and you said Abia needs, there's this urgency with which you made us understand that Abia needs rescue today. It's a month. And you're still giving excuses. All what we've heard about press releases, excuses, reasons why he has not done anything. He took over office the same day with Buhari. Buhari has been able to show, Tinubu has been able to show us direction. This is where I want to hinge my governance on security and the economy. He has opened up the economy. He has liberalized some very serious sectors of the economy, inviting investment, private investment in these areas. What will you say is Alex Otti's own policy direction? You can't say anything. It's just confusion.
But the argument from the Labour Party and the current government is that so much damage has been done. So it is not something I will still take you back to they'll be in a hurry to fix.
I will still take you back to Tinubu.
Okay.
Tinubu inherited a failed country. And he took over the same day with the governor of Abia State. The same day. And he's able to show strength. He's able to show his direction. Okay?
Some would say that Tinubu inherited a failed country of 8 years, whereas Alex Otti is inheriting
why is his investigation limited to? If he fails, the state
for more than 20 years.
The state has been hampered. There's a lot of mismanagement of the state for 24 years. Why limit your panel to just 8 years? It would have extended to, that's been the argument. So it shows a man who is unprepared. To be very frank with you, I am a little bit surprised. I'm not playing politics here. To be very frank with you, I'm a little bit surprised that a man who has contested the elections twice, this is the third time he was able to make it to the governorship seat. Though the court has not finished this thing, but for him to start giving these excuses, does he think governance is without problems? He's elected to solve problems. He knows that because he said over and over, national TV, local radio station, the system is not working, Ibazo has not done this. If I were him, I would have started putting my own policies and programs on the ground. Okay, once I enter office, I'll hit the ground running because I know, because he said he knew there was massive looting. So you shouldn't have been talking about paying their salaries if you didn't know that there was money there enough to pay this. That was just the problem.
But are you suggesting that in 20 to 24 years of the PDP being in charge of the state, that the PDP has done fantastically well?
Has the party done well? No. Has was there room? Is it? Will I say it's a total failure? No. Judging from where Ibazu came from a very deep hole. Okay, he was able to bring the state to a level that was different from the state he inherited. You will believe that before he took over, there was no single motorable road in Aba. But before he left office, you can ply Aba. After he left office, you can move, you can close your eyes and cross Osisioma. Go back to Osisioma today. It is a refuse dump site. And you're wondering why. Now, the effort to obliterate anything about Ipazu in government is an effort in futility. There is no how you can remove Ipazu from Abia State and Abia remains the same. You just have to, no matter your personal issues with Ipazu, I don't know. But I think you must have to acknowledge the fact that this man has done something. May not be the best, but he has done something. He has moved Abia from where it used to be. Every successive government needs to add value. There needs to be. He's not inheriting a state that is in total decay. He's not inheriting a state that has security issues. Look at what happened last weekend. If you don't take over the security playbook of Ipazu, you're going to run into problems. Now, I believe what is happening in Kano is replicating itself in Abia State. And if it is not checked, we're going to see a total disruption of even the systems that are working. The civil service is confused. And you're asking, if you don't use civil servants on ground, you don't bring agents from above to run the civil service. There are civil servants who will tell you what and where things are. If you're looking for, and it's worrisome, you bring strangers, okay? You didn't follow the rules. And these things are, most of these establishments are creation of the law. They have statuses that created them. And some of the appointments are tenured. You don't follow those things. You didn't ask questions. You arbitrarily run the system. Like his pick for the AG, a wonderful pick going by the ladies' qualification. I was the first person to celebrate it, and I said that was a wonderful one for me. But the argument is, the position of the Attorney General, is it a political appointment or a civil service position? And the core civil servants are saying it's a civil service position. You don't bring in an outsider and make an AG. And I'm wondering, so how do you reconcile the two? Now, even following the law, the way he used his political might to muzzle his candidate to become speaker.
I was going to come to that. I was going to come to that. About. Yeah, because now the PDP is the opposition, even though it supposedly has the largest number of members in the State House of Assembly. But what played out on Inauguration Day suggested that even though you have the numbers, you still don't have the muscle.
It was total illegality. To be very frank with you.
So what step has the PDP taken to legalize that illegality?
I don't have the local standing to take the matter to court because I'm not a member of the House. It's supposed to be an in-house thing. But if I were to be a member, I would have challenged whatever that happened in that House. Okay? Because there is a constitutional
But you are a chieftain of the party.
Yes,
so what is the position of the party?
I gave my advice. The party is looking through it. Very soon you will see their position on it. But what I'm saying is Section 311 of the 5th alteration of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria yielded supplementary powers to the standing orders of the 7th Assembly to be used. And when you go to paragraph 8 of that standing order, it is expressly clear there that it is only ranking members who have successfully completed 4-year tenure in the House of Assembly that can assume the position of the speakership and that of the deputy speaker. What do you have today? An aberration, an abnormality by suspending the Constitution and doing something that is not right. So you wonder. That brings me back to a whole lot of issues. That is the worry I'm talking about. That brings me back to the panel he has set to look into the looting. From his statement, from his address, from his marching orders, you will know he has set them up to go and get some people down. it is worrisome when he used so strong language. There's massive looting. I had thought with the urgency of the issue of subsidy removal, they would have been putting something in place to ameliorate the sufferings of the workers, the sufferings of the average Abia worker about the effect of subsidy on their pockets. Now, most states have resorted to increment in the salary scale. Some decreased the number of days they come to work for lower civil servants. Some brought out vehicles to convey workers to work. And what are we getting in Abia State? I remember this man said he is here to wipe out the tears of Abians to make sure Abia workers do not go to bed hungry. And you've not set anything in place. And all you do is complain. There was this an aide to the past governor said you had a remittance of 24 billion that came from stamp duties that's in your coffers. Why can't you use that first while you look at investigating? You can still work and chew gum. You can't keep the system stagnant and say you're pursuing after some looters. They didn't loot the state. You have 24 billion for Christ's sake. That 24 billion is a lot. It could pay a whole lot of people. You have mere allocation. You have some other monies that the former governor claimed that is in your possession. That maybe he wasn't there before you got him, but after you assumed off it, those remittances came. You have not disagreed with that statement. It then means it is a fact. And they gave you evidences. There were documents that were shown that alluded to the fact that this monies entered the state coffer. So what are you doing with the 24 billion? If actually the cries of that average Abian is what is worrying, is the reason you came to governance, you would have used a fraction of that money to say, okay, let me bring some palliative. The United Nations World Bank report that just came in, that over 70 point something million Nigerians will go below poverty line if palliative measures are not put in place. And this thing has been structured on subnational level. What are you doing with the 24 billion you have? Can't you say, okay, the simplest thing to do, cut down the number of days civil servants come to work. So the first thing to do is not just to put up a panel, to pursue after what?
Okay. All right, Eric, you've made several points. We'll take a quick breather. And when we come back, at some point, we have to open the phone lines, get reactions, because the phones are already buzzing off the hook. It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you think you're a fan of Rapid FM?
Yeah! I love Rapid FM.
I love Rapid FM.
This is the place to be.
Simply Rapid.
Knock it out on the Fan Zone with Mr. McDoney,
where you must answer more questions about what happened yesterday on Rapid FM to win the #1 title, Rapid Biggest Fan of the Day.
Plus, you get to win other special prizes too. Amazing, right?
I love the sound of that.
Join the fan base representing your favorite shows every Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the Fan Zone.
Fan Zone. Exclusive to Rapid 96.5 FM.
I'm your big fan. Follow you and say you love me.
Justy, this one where you put your hand under your jaw this early morning, wetin happen? Your goat don die.
Holy cap, leave me oh. If to say my goat die, that one better oh. All the goods wey dey my shop don expire finish. No market. Since morning, I never say even 1 naira.
Hey, you never hear about Rapid FM Ahiana Market.
Ahiana
Market na Rapid FM program where we go help you tell people wetin you dey sell, how you dey sell am, and where your shop dey with just take only 1,000 naira kpere. We go carry your business and put am for the next level. Oh yeah, green us for phone with this number 080-6356-8266. Or you fit rush for Rapid FM Radio House behind New Government House Umahia, Abia State, Nigeria. Ahiana Market.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say that leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drip and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. We are in the last lap of the show, but just to remind you that we are live and interactive on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Rapid 96.5 FM. On Twitter, we are at Rapid 965, and on Instagram, we are Rapid at Rapid 965 FM. Now, to be part of our, I would implore you to be part of our growing online community by following, liking Rapid 965 on all our social media platforms and contribute to ongoing conversations like the one we're having right now on Standpoint. And trust us to share your views and comments on our shows. Now, our shows are live and interactive, as I said, and the studio lines are open for you to be part of the conversation. The numbers to call, 091 60 333 965 and 091 60,000 965. We are still analyzing if the PDP in Abia State can play a good opposition role under the administration of Governor Alex Otti. We have our first caller this morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. John
Kamyang. Yes. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
Thank you, sir. My name is Mr. Chijoke from Benderoje.
Okay, Chidoke, please make it concise, straight to the point. Go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
Yes. Thank you. I want to start by saying that, Mr. John, it's unfortunate that people don't have shame again. I am very surprised. Even where I am now, I am shaking because I thought that people have shame. But it's unfortunate that Mr. Amma Abraham is coming on radio today, make it 1 month. Governor Alex Otti assumed office as the governor of Abia State. I am asking Mr. Amma Abraham to tell us who handed over to Governor Alex Otti if they are truly hand over in Abia State. I am challenging him now to tell Abia State where they handed over. Whether it's government house or school road, primary school or stadium, where did they stand and hand over to Governor Alex Otti? And also, I am telling him to hide his face in shame because they disappointed Abians. Upon that, they still have shame to talk about Dr. Alex Otti.
Okay.
Alex Otti is going to do well. He started well.
Thank you. So that we can take some other callers. And just to correct you, my guest is Eric, a chieftain of the PDP, not Abraham Amma. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're reaching us from, and please make it concise, straight to the point.
Excellent calling.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, where's Excellent calling from?
From Onimo.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is the fact, there is no difference between light and darkness. These people, I always know that there's a difference between fake and an original. When you have been spreading into fake, you see fake, but now we're still original. That's why they are struggling. They are fair and fair woefully. Somebody is coming to sanitize Abia, and they will remain in no position. They are fed up. They should have died on their watch.
Okay.
Somebody is coming to sanitize Abia. That's why they are crying.
All right.
Things are stealing from us. There are 3 people.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, 091 60 333 965 and 091 60,000 965. Okay, let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, your name and where you're reaching. Okay, hold on. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. Turn it down.
No, I'll move away from you.
Please move away so that we can have a clean, clear conversation. Your name and where...
I hope it's clear now.
It's clear now. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
Okay, this is Mr. Eze Enikalo, a voice from Abiyawa local government area, a voice of hospitality.
All right, Mr. Eze, you have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Please, on my take now, that concerning the panel set up by our new governor to look into people that have looted the government property.
Yes.
Anybody in this state that is speaking against such move, take that person very well, directly or indirectly, the person is a beneficiary. Because if that person is not a beneficiary, all the property we are talking about is not property of a Dr. Lesotho, it's not property of Labour Party. This is a property that belongs to our government. It belongs to all of us. So every public office holder that is living office has no right to go away or do away with any of the properties. The government is continuing. When you are leaving office, you leave it for the next person that is coming to the office.
All right, no.
So that the next government continue.
Thank
you. Now, this time around is blaming the present government.
Your time,
you couldn't do for over 8 years.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I told you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We have other callers on the line so that my guest can react to your contributions. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're reaching us from.
Yes, my name is SAG. I'm calling from Aba.
Okay, SAG from Aba. Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
I have done that already.
Thank you. Now you have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yeah, please, what I want to say is that I just want to put it right to all Abians. PDP should be on shame. Let Abians know that PDP want to distract the attention of Governor Oti. The work that this man wants to do to Abia, they say that they are opposition. Who were the party that was opposition then when they were ruling Abia for over 24 years? Please, tell that man in the studio, if this is how they want to do the opposition, believe you me, Governor Oti should be careful. Because they want to distract his attention with all these formulating liars.
Okay, thank you.
They are telling Abia.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Eric, I'm sure you've heard so much. How do you react to most of the comments made so far?
It is based on ignorance that somebody should expect me, that is an opposition, to be ashamed of what is veritable in deepening our democracy. If you don't keep the governor on check, there will be tendency of him digressing. So what keeps him on check? You find out most of the things we complained about.
Well, they will ask who was keeping the PDP on check.
It's up to them. Alex Oti was the leader of the opposition. He opposed the government of Kezi Bazo to the last minute. So we are giving him credible opposition. I didn't go into talking about anything about physical, anything about things I will be called to, any allegation I'll be called to prove. I'm stating it clear here. I'm being worried about some things, and I still said here that I'm giving him the chance to, redirect his steps. And I complained about things that were not done right. It is only an ignorant that will come on radio station and talk about somebody who is playing something that is recognized world over. Opposition is a veritable tool in every democracy if you want to enrich and deepen democracy. So what I'm doing is recognized by law. What I'm doing is recognized in the highest, in the developed democracies, that government should have a voice of voices that will say, oh, come on, you should have done it this way. That is, at the end of the day, you get the government working well. But if everybody comes to sing the praise of a government, which was one of the banes of PDP, where you have everybody, clapping and cheering for leaders, you should have a voice that say, no, come on, you're not getting it right. So
you're saying that despite the shortcomings of the PDP is positioned to give to be
a very credible,
opposition,
logical and sensible, well-constructive opposition. I am here from day one. I am going to commend him where he does well, and I'm going to say, no, hey, you have done it better this way. So you're going to get it from me, you're going to get it from other party members. Nobody can shout us down because we understand that it's a duty, it's a call to duty. We are working for the benefit of Abia State. And as I say, it is individuals.
But has the PDP learnt from all that has transpired?
I think there is a new group which I'm part of, okay? There's a renaissance, imagine from the PDP that will say, oh, come on, we have allowed entitlement mentality. We have allowed some people who felt they own PDP to run the party down. And we are going to take over our party and say, no one individual owned any party. The party is an open door, walk in and walk out. Because in my own local government, I fought to make sure a PDP member became the House of Assembly member, and today he's representing the Sequator in the State Assembly. So it is a no man's party. The issue of having some group of people who sit in their closets and determine what happens there without inculcating the interest of the ordinary man, the interest of that boy you call a tout, that boy you call a riffraff. Today we have understood from the elections of 2023 that is the power of the term, the power of voters that will at the end of the day push you in the office, and no longer entitlement mentality or you've been here, you've been there. There's a new PDP coming up, and believe you me, in some years, some months to come, you will see a new PDP emerge, where very rational people, very intelligent people will come and tell you, we are going to change the face of the party, and we're going to take our destiny in our own hands and get it working.
Well, at this point, I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Eric Okago, for making our time to be with us on this edition of the show. And like I said, the conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Let's keep the conversation going. I know Abians are very, very expectant as far as the Labour Party, Alex Oti-led administration is concerned. Special thanks to everyone who called in. The phone lines are still buzzing. We're sorry we can't take all your call. Time, not really our friend. And at this point, I really want to appreciate my producer, Kingsley Onwuka, for ensuring that, we have conversational topics every day. Monday through to Friday on Standpoint, and of course the production assistant Priscilla and Michael Odemina, the production head, ensuring that all the elements of the show are on point. I am Nkamiang John, the beloved, also known as the controversial, saying thanks. Tomorrow is another day, the last for the week. Make sure you're hooked on Rapid 96.5 FM. Top of the hour, News Light on Rapid. Do stay with us.